Hello, my name is Ray Gibson, and I will be presenting information on a technology recommendation for an instructional design project. The agenda that we'll go over for this presentation will be a project introduction, and we'll talk through the timeline, the budget, our learning objectives for this project, the learning management selection tool that we're going to recommend, along with the evaluation process that we took. We'll talk through the content authoring tool that we're recommending be selected, along with the evaluation tools that we use for that as well. We'll also talk through some of the AI feedback that we were given for this project, and then throughout the project, we'll provide different samples of work for the learning management system and also for the content authoring tool that we also use there as well. And then we'll conclude the presentation with project reflection. Okay, so hopping right into the project introduction. The purpose of this project is to submit a technology and a tools proposal for the U.S. Army. Basically, we're designing a course that will teach new recruits how to understand and identify different U.S. Army rank structures. And so we're going to recommend a learning management system along with some content authoring tools as a part of this project is really what we're trying to get to. Timeline for this project. Our proposed timeline is going to be 4 weeks of full-time intensive training that we have here. And then as you can see, we have the different weeks along with what goes into each week there. So you got week one will really be more of an introduction and a foundational knowledge. And then, with those different learning objectives for that week highlighted under there. Moving into week two, being rank identification and responsibilities, again with those different learning objectives under week two. And then transitioning over to week three, really this is going to be like the practical exercises and simulations week. This is where they get to showcase and highlight all of the information that they learned in weeks one and week two. This is also a great time for the instructor to get some feedback in terms of how well the learners have learned the information before they transition into week four, which would be the evaluation week and the certification week, which would be the big summative assessment that they have there. So week three really being a key touch point, one last final touch point in terms of summative assessments for the instructor to give feedback to the students in terms of how well they have or have not learned the information that was presented in week two and week one before they transition to that last evaluation, big final exam in week four, and then ultimately the certification there. So the budget proposal for this project, the total budget for this whole project is estimated to be $250,000. And again, this instructional design project is to reach hundreds of thousands of soldiers on an annual basis that are coming into the Army across all 50 states and some other territories also that we have there. Largely training at mainly 5 installations across the U.S. So it's a big project covering information for a lot of different new recruits and learners spread out all over America. And so as we see the breakdown there for technology, we have a total of 70,000 that we're estimating for the content development, really working with the SMEs, and then also the instructional design and curriculum development using some of the multimedia content creation that we have there. We're looking at 150,000 for that portion of the budget. The implementation part, we're looking at $25,000, and that's going to be for instructor training and then for the facilities and making sure that we have the right classrooms and training sites and training aids and everything that we need for the instructional design. And then lastly, concluding with the quality assurance and evaluation, being while only $5,000, it is very critical and important to the project to make sure that we get it right and that we get it out on time in a sustainable manner to the learners there as well. Hopping over to our learning objectives. Our learning objectives they're really broken down into 3 different categories, if you will. We have knowledge-based objectives, which you see listed under there, like identify and describe the different categories of the ranks. And then we also have skill-based objectives also, which is being able to apply appropriate protocols and etiquette when addressing and interacting with individuals with various ranks. And then the last set of learning objectives that we have here are going to fall into our affective objectives that we have here. And so as you think about, the three different categories that we have, with the knowledge base being, I understand and I know what the Army rank structure is. That's really falling into some of those knowledge-based objectives. And then can you apply it, meaning can you actually do it in a real world scenario? That kind of transitions over to our skill-based objectives, like actually applying the knowledge that you've learned. And then lastly, with this effective objectives, this is really going to be now that you know it and now that you can do it, and you live it on a daily basis, if you will. And so this is really connecting like your interests and your value sets, if you will, personally back to and connecting it to the learning objectives that we have for this course. So that's really how we've taken the role on with these three different sets of learning objectives. First, knowing it, and then being able to do it, and then lastly, being able to live it, for a sustained period of time for the remaining of your Army career, your military career that you'd have there. So for our learning management selection that we have, the criteria that we use to select our LMS system, and we used all the ones that you see here listed in front of you, between usability and user experience for the system there, assessment tools and grading functionality. We looked at some privacy and some security protection that we'd have there. Also, we looked at some pricing and some vendor reliability as well for the criteria for both the systems that we evaluated, one being Canvas and the other being the Talent LMS system. So Canvas did really well on the evaluation, as you can see in front of you, and you can also look at a blow up of this on the attached report as well. The two areas where it dropped down in points, because it received a total of 26 points out of 28, and where it dropped down on points would be the pricing and also some of the vendor reliability based off of the research and analysis that we did for this. Based off the evaluation, Canvas really, it proved to be a highly effective and comprehensive learning management system that really, it excelled in delivering a seamless and engaging learning environment for our learners there. And so some of the capabilities that we looked at, included things such as, multimedia. It excelled there. Also the interactive elements that it had, and also the ability, honestly, to create some gamified learning experiences to empower educators to again create those dynamic and immersive courses that we really were trying to create for this this project here. And then some of the robust features that we have, not only being the assessment tools and the grading functionalities, but also being the detailed analytics that is provided to the instructors to help give them valuable insights on learner progress and performance throughout the course. The Talent LMS system overall, also not a bad system. It received a total of 20 out of 28 points, and all of them mostly are in that good or fair category on the evaluation rubric that we have there. So overall, also another great LMS system that we evaluated. The initial judgment for the Talent LMS system, while it had some great things, it also fell short in some areas that could impact the overall learning experience for our users. And so one of them being, it was not as user friendly, or the user interface also felt, a little outdated there as well. Some of the capabilities also that we were looking for in our system was also lacking in this Talent LMS system, which would be some of those advanced authoring tools and multimedia integration options also were not as great as we would like. And so as a result, that kind of bled over into some other concerns that we would have there as well in terms of usability, accessibility, and some data concerns that we would have there for the Talent system. And so as a result, ultimately, we are recommending, based off of the evaluation with the proposed criteria listed above, that we go with Canvas because for the project that we're doing, it proves to be superior and the best in terms of privacy, vendor support, pricing, and also some of the other categories and criteria that we had as well. So showing and highlighting some of the sample work that we could create using this Canvas system. Here you just basically have a shell, honestly, of the course online with different modules that you have in there. And then obviously inside of each module you have assignments and reading assignments, maybe some exams, some interactive quizzes in there. And this is just an example of one discussion board that you can have inside of that system. Overall, very user-friendly system and very easy to use. So we definitely recommend using Canvas over Talent. Next, hopping into our content authoring tool selection. The proposed criteria that we went with here, user creating interactive and multimedia content. We wanted to have a range of content creation capabilities. Also, we wanted to have, support for different instructional design models. That way we're not limited to certain things. And then also, we're also looking at different pricing models as well, like what was more, cost efficient for what we were trying to do for this project. We compared Canva and Articulate 360 to each other. And so in the rubric that we have here, comparing it to the different criteria that we just listed above in the previous slide, Canva got a total score of 22 out of 24. Some of the initial judgment that we got for Canva was that, it was very user-friendly. They had a library full of just thousands of templates that you could use, and you could take and tailor them and make them your own, which makes designing products inside of the Canva system very, very seamless. Also, it had very good collaboration features in there as well. So working with, on a team of other designers and subject matter experts, that was also very user friendly in there as well. And then also, just a host of graphics and presentations and educational materials that was offered there. So overall, Canva was a great system and offered a whole lot of great capabilities for instructional designers. Articulate 360, also again another great content authoring tool that we have here. It received a total of 20 out of 24, so not too far behind the Canva evaluation that we did. Articulate 360, again, the initial judgment looking at this system. Again, another great system. It offered a lot of great features that could be used for content creation. Ultimately, though, I think that the Articulate 360 was great, but for the scope of the project that we were doing, we ended up with our final recommendation being for Canva, just because, number one, it was relatively cheap, and our project is very simple, and we didn't need anything as complex as what Articulate 360 offered. So for the price and for the diversity of what we were getting with Articulate 360, we thought it'd be overkill for this project. So our final recommendation, we're going to go with Canva. And here is an example work piece that we created in Canva. This took about 5 minutes. Honestly, the longest piece was downloading those different ranked insignia pictures that you see there. We pulled up a template, and then we control, replace the image that was there with the images that we wanted, and then change the labels off to the side. So very quick and easy in order to do this kind of stuff. Simple project and simple work inside of the Canva system. Also very cost efficient there as well. So for our non-student facing design tools and recommendations, this is some of the criteria that we would look for in our non-student facing, the things that the students don't see but that we use behind the scenes in order to help create some of those instructional designs. Really looking at things like core curriculum mapping and learning outcome alignment, looking at style guide and branding enforcement, looking at learning objective repositories, user management and permissions, and then also like pricing, and along with everything else that you kind of see here in terms of criteria. And then the one that we're recommending for this one's going to be ScreenPal. And you can use this to record either your screen or your webcam or both together. You can make audio videos, and you can do like audio editing and also video editing in there as well. There's some interactive elements in terms of like the click here. So like if I was making a video for a class, like I could put a click here to take the learning assessment or the quiz. Students click on that thing and they, it's kind of interactive, take them to there as well, along with some of the other great features that you see here with annotations and call outs and the ability to exploit the different videos. So as you go on this ScreenPal homepage and you click on education, like this is some of the great things that you could use it for in order to help integrate this tool into your instructional design projects that you have there. And so we use AI in order to get feedback for our instructional design project. And really what we asked for feedback for was for our learning objectives using the prompt that you see here. We were giving a number of different things to sustain, one of them being, the balanced objectives that we had, really reaching across, a range of learning, different learning domains between the knowledge, the skills, and effective aspects that we have there. In terms of things to improve, really looking down at the bottom one there, that measurability, just ensuring that our learning objectives, we're able to measure and assess them through various and appropriate evaluation methods that we have there. And so for our course reflection, just looking back at it, the biggest challenge that we found was, for this presentation, is what to present, making sure that we presented the right information, and then also using insights gained from AI to make sure that our objectives were measurable. So overall, this is my presentation, and I hope you